Hi guys, welcome to Book Time. My name is Julia. Today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for the upcoming Springathon, which is a nature writing readathon hosted by Natalie and Emma. So I'll link their announcement videos and channels below, and Natalie definitely has other videos up, I think, with recommendations for nature memoirs. She probably has more by the time I put this up, but at the time of recording, she had that up as well. So I'll link that. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. And I'm going to use the readathon as an excuse to hopefully get through some books that I've had on my shelves for a long time that I haven't read. So I'm only including one book that I don't yet own, and I will probably purchase it or try and borrow it from a friend because libraries are closed at the moment due to the lockdown, which is really sad. I may be able to borrow it online though. I have to check it out. So I'm just trying to find my notes. Okay, so the Springathon, it's from the 4th to the 17th of May, which is Monday to 2 Sundays following, so it's for 2 weeks. And you can read fiction or non-fiction as long as it focuses on nature. So the general challenge is to read one non-fiction book about nature. And then there are a bunch of other prompts, but as they have said in their videos, you do not have to read all the prompts to participate, of course. So the prompts are 4 different sort of themes. They've got bird, water, animal, plant, and with each of those, they can be on the cover of the book, in the title, or part of the content of what the book's about. So the only one I think they've all got plants and one has a bird, but whatever. So these are the books that I already own that I'm going to talk about. I'll hopefully read. The first one's Fire Country by Victor Steffensen, out through Hardy Grant. I mentioned this in my recent haul video. And Victor Steffensen is an Indigenous Australian who is an expert on, I suppose, Australian Aboriginal practices of fire management and the traditional practices that he has learned from elders. And so this book is very timely because, as you probably know, even if you live, if you're Australian, you'll definitely know. If you're international, you will probably know that we have had horrific fires over the past summer. So we've just had summer here. We have fires every year, but these ones were particularly bad. And part of the discussion has been how of course we need to, but get advice from the Australians First Nations, because they have been managing the Australian landscape and mitigating fires in a way that actually benefits the landscape and the wildlife and the people. So yeah, basically this guy just outlines, I think this is, him outlining sort of more a holistic approach to fire management that will hopefully help mitigate Australian fire outcomes in years to come and care for our environment, which is very important in time of climate change. So that's the first one. The second one is Boreal, a collection of new woodland writing. I've had this for so many years and I've mentioned it in several videos since I began my channel. It's edited by Adrian Cooper. It's out through Little Toller, I think, which is an independent UK press. And I first heard about this on Mercy's channel years ago and just thought it was such a stunning book that I ordered it immediately and paid a fortune in shipping because you can't get it here. But look at the end papers, they're just beautiful. Anyway, this is a collection of writing that focuses on woodlands throughout the UK. And it's a mixture, I think, of memoir, poetry. There might even be some fiction in there. I think there's some photographs. It's a real sort of, I don't want to say mixed bag, but that sounds sort of pejorative, but it's a real delicious melting pot of different genres and styles of writing. How about that? So I'm really looking forward to this anthology. I have read bits of it, but I have never read all of it, and I would love to finally get around to actually doing it. So it's really nice. So each of them have a title, but then the subtitle of each story is what part of, like, what woodland they're writing about. So for example, let me read some. There's Hannah's Wood in the heart of Wales. The piece is called Birdsong. One called Hidden Places is about the Lincolnshire Wolds. Arboreal is the name of the piece by Philip Hare. the forest is New Forest, Hampshire, so that sort of thing. So I'm really looking forward to it because I love trees and forests, and even though I love Australian forests the most, I also love trees from all around the world, so I'm excited to read about this. The next one I've got is the one with the bird on the cover. So I think all of mine are non-fiction actually, and this that I've had for years. I think I got this from my grandpa when he died. I was lucky enough to be able to select a number of his books, and this is really lovely. It actually has the card in there so it was given to him by my Auntie Judy and Uncle David and their children, my cousins, and it's still got the note in there from when they gave it to him, so that's special. This is The Birdman, The Extraordinary Story of John Gould, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, by Isabella Tree. So I read Wilding by Isabella Tree last year and loved it, and I didn't realise that this book was also written by her, even though I've had it for a long time. So yeah, I think this is like an autobiography of John Gould, who was a birdman, an ornithologist, do you say that? No. Author and publisher of some of the most magnificent illustrated works on birds ever to have been created. He was a genius and a cad. His vast, colourful volumes eclipsed even his American counterpart Audubon in accuracy and art. Big claim. But obviously he's very well known in Australia because he wrote and compiled The Birds of Australia. And I think every beach house in Australia has one of many posters published by the Gould League with a series of birds printed on them native to that region, which is really cool. So yeah, I would like to get to this because I'm interested in it, and I loved Isabella Tree's other book. I thought it was really well written. This is published by Ebury. The one I want to talk about that I don't yet own is Song Spirals by the Gaiwu Women's Collective. No, the Gaiwu Group of Women, which is a mixture of 5 Yolngu women and a couple of non-Indigenous women, I think, who have written several books together over the years. And the Yolngu people are from northeast Arnhem Land in Australia. And the subtitle of the book is Sharing Women's Wisdom of Country Through Songlines. So I think what they do is elaborate particular songlines and speak about, I guess, new ways of, not new ways, but maybe new to white Australia, how you might think about relating to the landscape and some ways in which they do. So I think that will be a really powerful book. And I've, not that I know much about Yolngu culture at all, but I have spent a fair bit of time in northeast Arnhem Land because I used to have some family there. And so I think it'll be good to have sort of a visual of some of the places as I read about them. So I'm really, really excited for that one. I think it was shortlisted for the Stella Prize this year, or at least it was longlisted. I'll check. Didn't win, but it was shortlisted. The last one I want to get to is, I have mixed feelings about it. I haven't read it though, so if you have, let me know. It's by Don Watson. It's The Bush, Travels in the Heart of Australia. Now, Don Watson is a white male Australian journalist. He was a speechwriter for Paul Keating, one of our former prime ministers, and he has written, I suppose he's probably most well known here for writing books about language and grammar in a really sort of funny and accessible, interesting way. He's also written this book called The Bush. Now, I haven't read it, and I want to because I love The Bush, but I also am really interested in, I suppose, how he incorporates an Indigenous perspective. We'll see. He's a really interesting writer and person. I've heard him talk before. He's very interesting. So yeah, I hope this book lives up to all the praise that it has received. Essentially, it's a milestone work of memoir, travel writing and history. The Bush takes us on a profoundly revelatory and entertaining journey through the Australian landscape and character. So that's a pretty big claim, considering it's written by a white guy. So we'll see. It's a pretty edition, nice hardcover in any case. Oh, it's got really pretty end papers, look. Looks like a close-up of some sort of stone. It's really beautiful. Nice. So they're the non-fiction books I hope to read. Obviously, there are so many more that I have on my TBR, like my Goodreads TBR, books I don't own. So if you're doing this readathon, or if you have other nature writing recommendations, please let me know, because I'd always love to add more and find more that I could get to. Cool. Hope you enjoy the readathon if you're doing it, or that you just enjoy reading through May, even if you're not doing it. Okay, bye.